The Black Republican is the most powerful force in all of politics. I'll say it again. The Black Republican is the most powerful force in all of politics. The Black Republican is the great equalizer in politics. The Black Republican has the power to expose both sides or lift up both sides. And the Black Republican is powerful because the Black Republican does not fit inside the black box. You have the matrix and you have the Blatrix. The Blatrix is for black people. That is the system of control that we are forced to exist in. And leaving the Blatrix means you will have to abandon many of your family and friends. The Black Republican has the ability to expose both parties. The Black Republican is adored by the Republican Party, but hated by the Democratic Party. The Black Republican is also the most powerful force in politics because the Black Republican dares to talk about real black issues, issues that actually affect Black America. The Black Republican dares to have a black agenda, whereas the Black Democrat does not. Now, many of you are wondering if I'm a Republican or not, but nobody's actually asked me if I'm Republican or Democrat. People just assume that I'm Republican because I question the traditional narrative. And this further proves my point. Just like being black comes with the script, talking about the needs of black people in America also comes with the script. And so anyone against that script or that narrative is going to be portrayed as a person that is opposed to the progress of black people in America, or the indigenous people of America, or the Native Americans, or the Aboriginal Americans, or one of the lost tribes. But for the record, I've never told anyone to vote for Donald Trump, nor have I told anyone to not vote for Joe Biden. But the mere fact that I ask people to look at policy, the mere fact that I ask people to think outside of the box, the mere fact that I tell people to do their own research are all reasons why I am anti-democratic in the eyes of many, because in politics, specifically in the Democratic Party, they do not want you to think. And this is why the Democrats play heavily on our emotions. This is why the Democrats are focused on Donald Trump and not actually making America better. So Kim Klacik went viral with an ad campaign video she shot in Baltimore. And I must admit, I thought the video was powerful.
Do you care about Black lives? The people that run Baltimore don't. I can prove it. Walk with me. They don't want you to see this. I'm Kim Klacik. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This is the reality for Black people every single day. Crumbling infrastructure, abandoned homes, poverty, and crime. Baltimore has been run by the Democrat Party for 53 years. What is the result of their decades of leadership? Baltimore is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in America. The murder rate in Baltimore is 10 times the US average. The Baltimore poverty rate is over 20%. Homicide, drug, and alcohol deaths are skyrocketing in our city. Do you believe Black Lives Matter? I do.
And not only did I think the video was powerful, but I also thought it was something bold to do. And I want you all to keep in mind that no one has said Kim Klacik is lying in her ad campaign. I will say that again. Nobody is saying that Kim Klacik is lying in her ad campaign. So I want us to stay focused on why she's being critiqued. She is not being critiqued because she is lying.
The vast majority of crime in Baltimore is perpetrated against Black people, who make up 60% of the population. So why don't we care about our communities? The Democrat Party have betrayed the Black people of Baltimore. If the politicians walk the streets like I do, they would see exactly how their policies and corruption affects us. But they don't want to see it. They don't want you to see this. Go to any Baltimore neighborhood and ask this question. Do you want to defund the police?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. I had 3 sons killed in Baltimore City. And I think if we defund the police officer, it's going to be worse than that. So no, I'm opposed to that.
What are you going to defund the police for? Why? How do you defend your city, your community? Families are losing people.
It's not just Baltimore. The worst place for a black person to live in America is a Democrat-controlled city. It's 2020. Name a blue city where black people's lives have gotten better. Try. I'll wait.
So Kim Klacik decides to go on The View, or should I say, she was invited on The View. Now I want to remind you all of the power the black Republican has. So they won't tackle a black Republican one-on-one. I've seen it happen, and it never ends well for a Democrat or a liberal, regardless of race.
And in your speech, you said, quote, Joe Biden believes we can't think for ourselves, that the color of someone's skin dictates their political views. I've also found that our gender apparently dictates our political views. And when it comes to being conservative women, we're heretics that the media likes to believe doesn't exist. Do you think that liberals seem to pigeonhole minorities by assuming that they can't predict their political beliefs based on their race as well?
Absolutely. They don't only predict it, they kind of provoke it, right? I think they want us to continue voting for the same, but as we see in cities like Baltimore City, voting for one party, that mob rule leads to corruption. And I was really offended when VP Biden said, you ain't black, if you'll have to figure out between him and President Trump. I am black, and I have to tell you, VP Biden has been in office for almost 50 years. And if you tell me that he actually cared about the black community, why hasn't he done anything for all that time? You know, President Trump, like I said earlier, has done many things with only 3.5 years. So to me, it doesn't even jive. But no, I believe liberals do put us in a box. I think that's why they're always talking about, different communities. And I think the way they do it is actually divisive.
Now, the black Republican is already outside of the box. There's no script for the black Republican. So if there's no script, nobody really knows how to handle a black Republican. This is why all of the energy and effort goes towards attacking the person versus their political views, policies, and track records.
I will tell you that I was born in 1968, and black home ownership was at 41.1%, and in 2000, and now it's at 41.2%. Black incarceration was 604 per 100,000. In 1968, now it's at 1,730. Black unemployment, 6.7% in 1968. Now it's at 7.5%. So I'm not really sure what it is that President Trump has done for the black community, but I guess I'll take your word for it. But let me ask you this. During ABC's town hall, Trump said that he hopes there isn't a race problem in the country, but he's repeatedly branded anti-racism protesters in the U.S. as terrorists. Now, while you say that black lives, and let me also say he's pointedly declined to condemn right-wing violence at those same demonstrations. While you say that black lives do matter, you are not a supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, is my understanding. I want to know why not, and I also want to ask you, do you recognize that there is right-wing violence also at these demonstrations?
Yes, I'm going to dial this all the way back. Thank you for all your questions and your stats in the beginning there.
So, Kim Klacik on The View is not going to be about policy. Kim Klacik on The View is going to be about her being Republican and supporting Donald Trump. But the real issue underneath all of that is the fact that they don't have a script for her, meaning the things she's talking about aren't approved for mainstream media because she's talking about things that black people actually need. And that is the issue. The issue is going outside of the Blatrix, and that is the black matrix. That is the system of control specifically designed for black people in America when it comes to media, politics, and entertainment. So these women on The View, not all of them, but the ones that are talking the most, disliked her from the video because they can't argue the truth. It's not an accepted narrative to speak about the true ills that plague black America. When we start talking about liberating black America, we have to address what the Democratic Party has not done because we vote almost 100% Democratic. All of these questions are designed to assassinate her. As you can see, they're focused on Donald Trump and not her.
Thank you for all your questions and your stats in the beginning there. I'm running against Kwesi and Fume. Sure. My opponent was there from 1987 to 1996. So all your stats are very accurate. And they are accurate because my opponent and Joe Biden signed over that 1994 crime bill, which led to a lot of those numbers you just laid out. Now, I will say that Black Lives Matter movement started out great. There's a lot of peaceful protesters that are involved in it. But at some point, it was hijacked. Now we have people coming into cities, and these are outsiders. If you look at the arrest records, they're outsiders coming into cities and burning down, looting businesses, and a lot of them minority-owned businesses in the name of, I don't even know what, because I don't even know what their listed demands are. They say they want to defund the police, but at the same time, I mean, you take a look at that, it doesn't make any sense. If you want police to have more training and to be better equipped for their job, you would add funding. So I know you said, do I believe that there are right-wing instigators? Yeah, there are instigators from all types of groups. You know, this isn't something where, you know, you could say it's Democrat or Republican. It's on both sides for sure.
They invited her on the show to talk about everything else but her.
Do you care about Black lives? I do. And unlike the people that currently run Baltimore, I actually have a plan to make life better for Black people here. Walk with me. I want you to see this. I'm Kim Klacik. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This city was once among the most prosperous, populated, and powerful cities in America. So what happened? Our leaders abandoned us and Baltimore fell into ruin. But it doesn't have to be this way. None of this has to be this way. A broken Baltimore does not have to be our future. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I see the city differently. I walk the streets of Baltimore and see what could be. I want you to see what I see.